Hey there guys, I'm Time Lord Fishwicket and welcome back to another video on my channel. And as you guessed, and from what you've seen on the title of this video, I am back with my 12th Doctor Marathon. I'm a little bit ahead now. I've just finished Time Heist, but this is going to be obviously Listen. So Listen is it's an interesting but a very weird one. It's very, as Moffat would write it, timey-wimey. It's a very strange, confusing episode, and I generally don't have much an opinion on this one. It's a hard one because there's a few questions in this episode that I don't feel like that still hasn't been answered yet. And the whole it starts off with Clara. Well, no, it starts off with the Doctor, talking to himself, and he's got this like theory about that everybody's got this same dream about that you get up in the middle of the night and then a hand grabs onto your leg, and I the well in the end it's basically Clara, because it's just basically the Doctor had that same thing. I don't know why he's brought this theory up now. And I don't really seem to understand, if it's just the Doctor just thinking of this, and why has everyone else got this same dream like Rupert Pink did, and you saw some of the old, the other flashbacks of other people getting that same dream, which is, it's a little bit strange. It starts off the Doctor's, saying all of this, and I do like it when the Doctor just talk to himself. And then it goes on to Danny and Clara going on their dates, and I don't think their conversations are weird. Like, that is not a normal conversation. I've been on dates and I've never had, like, weird conversation. I mean, obviously you're going to be, like, as the 13th Doctor would say, socially awkward. Well, no. You're going to be a bit nervous when you're on a date with someone, especially when it's your first time. But I don't really seem to understand how, like, when Clara or Danny, they bring up something that's very, very sensitive to them, and then they just randomly get pissed off with each other. It's just, it's not the sort of conversations that would just automatically start with, if you know what I mean. And then, Clara leaves, and then she's goes back home, and then she sees the Doctor in her home, and he's just sat there like, "Why have you got 3 mirrors? Why don't you just turn your head?" I like that. And then then the Doctor just tells the theory he has. And then he gets Clara to put her put her fingers on the memory thing on the TARDIS, and then gets distracted. And I understand why. I know why the Doctor is confused, because it's the same timeline, even though we know that it's not Clara's past, because obviously she says it, and two, it's with Orson, and yeah, because it kind of explains why it's the same time. Because I'm guessing maybe Danny and Clara are the same age. But I it, it's a strange one because I don't. I mean, you see Danny, but he's known as Rupert Pink, and it's. I'm just also thinking like when the Doctor like gives gets him to go to sleep, and he gives a whole story about Dan the Soldierman. I'm just thinking, does this mean that the Doctor has just like given a whole story that he thinks that he was a soldier or he was a soldier? It's a bit strange, and I have to say I like the bit where when Clara says to Rupert, it's like, do you know who else is under the bed? Me. I mean, I would love to have Jenna Coleman under my bed. I mean, I do keep on checking, but she's not there. And I do like that little dialogue that the Doctor has. It's like, do you think he's scared? And I have to say, that bit when you see that figure in the quilt cover, and it's. I'm glad that I don't see how it's connected with the episode, but I do think it's a really good Moffat thing, because he is actually known for writing some horror episodes, and I don't know. I think that's just to add the creepiness to it, but I don't know what that's exactly supposed to do with the episode though. And then I do like, and then like the Doctor and Clara just like the Clara asks the Doctor about if can I just like, I know this is against the laws of time or something, but can I just go back? And then she sees Danny, and then it goes back to the bit when she leaves, and then she sees Danny, and then it goes back to the date thing, and again conversation's still not great, and it's just, don't get me wrong, I think Danny's story is interesting, but I don't really like how he's just a part of a story arc, and then especially when Orson Pink comes in, and I'm a bit. There's also one thing I'm a little bit confused about, like, because Orson is supposed to be like this, this future version of, is related to Clara. Obviously, I'm guessing Clara is a great grandmother, and I'm guessing, obviously, maybe Danny and Clara had a kid, and then the family tree went on, and then but obviously we know Clara didn't have a kid, so they didn't really see. Then if that's not the case, then Orson didn't exist, and then so would that mean that the Doctor wouldn't have never found him? But I don't know. Maybe he's kind of like, maybe in some ways probably related to Danny or something. But yeah, and then it's a bit mind-boggling, this episode. And then it goes on to Dan with I do like the bit where when the Doctor snaps at Clara, like, TARDIS, now do as you're told. As I said in my Into the Dalek review, things seem to be a little bit too happy going with the Doctor and Clara, and I do like how the Doctor just fell out with Clara. And then Clara ends up in a barn, and she sees a boy crying in a bed, and then she's under the bed, and then you just hear the parents, well, not parents, but two other grown-ups coming in, and you kind of think it's either Orson or Danny, about, it's like, he doesn't want to join the army since that Danny is a soldier. But then he says he'll never make a Time Lord, and we're like, what? Danny's a Time Lord? And then, and then we find out that we get like a flashback, a cameo of the War Doctor. So yeah, then you find out that it's the Doctor. And now, since that series 12 has come, I'm guessing that's a younger version of the first Doctor. But, he's had many faces since that version now, according to the Time with Children. I'm not going to bring that up properly. I'm going to rant about that another time. And then, yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. Listen. But yeah, that's all I can really think about it, to be honest. And I definitely think it's the weakest out of the other three. So yeah, I'm gonna give this episode a 5 pot. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Because it was just a mind-boggling episode, and it's one that you can tell that Stephen Moffat, it is written by Stephen Moffat. It's definitely like a timey-wimey one that gets us really confused about. Yeah, it's just a little bit of a strange one. And then now I'm going to be reviewing Time Heist. Well, I'm going to be on The Caretaker now, so I'm going to watch that one, but I will... Time Heist, the review, that's probably going to be up maybe tomorrow now. Yeah. So anyway, guys, that's my listen review. Tell me in the comments what you thought about it. So I shall see you next time. Bye for now.